So I'm sat in the car outside Twiddle Shops, which is just down the road from where I live, and I come here an awful lot. And I want to talk about housing for a minute because, as some of you will know, in Twiddle we had 2 developments which were eventually approved for development on green land. The good thing that, the only saving grace of those developments are that they're both for council housing. But the reason I fought against them is because there's a lot of green space in Twiddle. I think Twiddle is one of the nicest housing estates in Medway. And there's a lot of green space that is actually at risk of development. And my feelings at the time were that these 2 developments on Sturry Way and East Court Lane would lead to more. So far, I've been proved wrong, and there haven't been more applications by the council. But I don't think that it's not going to happen. I think it will happen at some point. So yes, I want housing. I want the housing in the right location. I don't want them built on green spaces. There was also some properties built on garages. I did not object to those being built because, in my opinion, we should build in every single brown space or previously developed piece of land before we touch any of our green spaces or our agricultural land. So I believe strongly that the only housing that we need in Medway is social housing. And that is quite evident when you look at how many council houses have now been privately purchased through the Right to Buy scheme. Now, as lovely as it has been for people to get onto the market, and I know a lot of people who would never have been able to purchase a house had they not been given the opportunity to buy their rented property through the council. But we have to think about what that then means for future generations, because council housing is not being rebuilt at the same level as council houses are being sold off through Right to Buy. And I think very strongly that not only do we need to have a complete council housing building programme, that we should also look at actually ceasing the Right to Buy until the capital stock that we have as a country has been replenished. And that might be extremely unpopular, but the reality is if you keep selling the houses off and they aren't replaced by council housing, then who gets rich? And that's your private landlords. And we have no rent controls, which means they can charge what they want. In some cases, and in many cases, more than a mortgage would cost the family or individuals living in that rented property to buy. Now, that's a whole nother discussion about why people aren't able to get mortgages. I'm very lucky that in 2006, I got onto the housing market with my now husband, with a £7,000 deposit. Now, that would not even be a consideration now. It wouldn't even be an option for people. You would need more than 10 times that in order to get a mortgage on a house as a deposit. And I don't think that's right. I think that a lot of money is being made out of something which is, in my opinion, a basic human right. So I don't oppose all housing, but I do oppose housing on green spaces, because eventually those green spaces run out, and it's a lot harder to turn a brownfield site into a green space than it is to turn a brownfield site into a housing estate. So I'm by no means saying that it's black or white. There is a lot of grey there, but also an opportunity for creative thinking that we don't get from the likes of both main parties. And if Labour were serious about wanting to prevent our country from going downhill further, then why is he not getting rid of first past the post in favour of proportional representation? Because he's more interested in having complete control rather than reflecting the views of the people of the UK. So that's my words for now on the housing crisis, or affordability crisis as I like to call it, because we have got 1 million houses that have had planning permission that are yet to be built, so let's build those. And we've also got over 600,000 houses empty across the country, so let's get those back into a state of repair and get them rented or sold. So think about where the money comes from, where the money goes to, and how it actually benefits the people of this country. See you later.